I am doing that thing where I film a bunch back to back again, and my house is still crossed. But really, it's like 2 of them. Because I saw Daredevil Born Again. That was pretty good. It's not like the Netflix show. I think in my first video, I mentioned how the first episode felt a lot like it. And it was at first a lot like the Netflix show. It was gritty and things happen, but then, well, I mean, after that, they start trying to work in the MCU. I mean, there's the episode where he defends the White Tiger in court. I mean, that didn't really work in MCU people too much, but it did feel different, and it kind of establishes the pattern of each episode being kind of a self-contained story almost. I've been reading the 80s Daredevil comics, and they're kind of like crusty, but they were very much like that because I started with the Born Again comic, which was like a 1-issue thing. I thought it was gonna be a big arc, but no, it's just that. It's like, I'm gonna be Daredevil again, and then Monster of the Week stuff, where every 1 to 2 issues was just one random story on its own. That's kind of what the show did. You see Wilson Fisk every so often. You see he's got the lover that Vanessa hooked up with while he was in recovery in a way. He's got him imprisoned in his basement, and they end up killing him, kind of rekindling their relationship fully. You see more and more throughout the series, like bit by bit, that Wilson is in fact still Wilson Fisk. Nothing's fucking changed. He's blackmailing people. I think I mentioned that in the first video. He blackmails the commissioner and then crushes his head by the end of the fucking season. More on that later. He's wheeling and dealing, and you think like, okay, maybe this is for the betterment of the city. But by the end of the season, you find out he and Vanessa, I think through Vanessa, have a patch of like area, a port in New York that is somehow its own sovereign like place. And he's been trying to establish a city there, basically, his own little fort. He's got a band of fucking anti-vigilante police he set up throughout the season. They kind of just do whatever they want. They're sort of the army there, and then he and Vanessa are probably gonna move in there and then just keep corrupting New York. And he says at one point that he found certain opportunities had presented themselves that he discovered while he was a mayor, and what he meant was like ways to funnel money and launder it and move it around and get it. Like, there's a cat. So he became mayor, and I don't know if he was giving in to urges or if it was his plan, but he's doing Wilson Fisk things, using his position to do clandestine illegal shit. I think he still wants to help New York like he always has, but he's becoming more and more like the evil dickhead that he is. I guess by season 3 of the original show, cat. I don't know if you can hear her. Yeah, he established himself as being pretty evil, though. Killing people just to pull strings and get things moving in ways he wanted. And well, in this fucking show, he crushes somebody's head. And, like, the show had been pretty violent and gritty at times. There's blood. There's being impaled with Daredevil's hook thingies. He's hanging people. He's smacking them around. But I feel like when the commissioner dude that got blackmailed earlier, I feel like when his head gets crushed by Wilson, it's kind of like a, hey, look how gory we are. We're more gory than the last show, because it kind of it's a tonal shift, because this did feel more Disney like I said. It's kind of like Monster of the Week sort of stuff going on with Muse defending White Tiger. There's a bank robbery and he runs into Kamala, god damn it, Kamala Khan's father, because they got to work that in, and then they work Swordman dude from the the Hawkeye show. They work him in there. He's actually a vigilante called the Swordsman now, and you see him in like a shitty getup at one point. He gets captured by the end. What was I doing? I was talking about the commissioner man getting his head beatered by Kingpin. So the guy was going to turn on Kingpin and go to the governor and hire in order to let everybody know what he's doing with this anti-vigilante force and just in general, because he kept calling him out. He's like, you're still just Kingpin, motherfucker. And then this communications lady who seemed on the up and up, she told on him. Like, I think she was afraid. So she told on him, and he gets brought to a warehouse with plastic everywhere. Or it's like a site under construction, and the guy walks in thinking like, he's like, if you want to get my attention, all you had to do was ask. And it's like, dog, do you not see Kingpin's about to beat the fuck out of you and kill you? You said before you know who Kingpin is. So he was holding an idiot sphere or something walking into this, and Kingpin barely addresses him and fucking throat chops him, smacks him in the back, and then starts crushing his head. And then he fucking does. Like, a part of the top of his head comes off and his jaw fucking rips off. It's like, okay, that is gorier than anything we've seen in the Netflix shows, but it's out of nowhere. It's like, look what we did. It's Daredevil, kind of. I mean, I liked the show overall, and the Netflix formula did kind of wear on me after a while, because it was a lot of like the legal drama part of it and talking and almost too much grit. So this kind of was more airy and lighter with some things until that happened. I mean, they balanced the violence with kind of lightening things up and moving things along better. This is good balance, that was my point. But then that. It's like, hey, we can crush a head. We're still cool. I've heard, I don't know, maybe I haven't heard, the people that worked on like the showrunners and stuff from the first few seasons might be coming back or something. I'm not sure. I kind of hope so. So they kind of bring some of their old style back. Because I don't need more Mr. Khan and Daredevil fight bank robbers. I don't need more of that. I somehow feel like I didn't see a lot while seeing a lot. I don't know, like... Maybe I need to rewatch the series, but I didn't get this feeling when I watched season 1 of Daredevil, and I was like gushing about it years ago. It's just weird. It's like I almost didn't see a whole lot of Matt Murdock, and didn't really see him processing Foggy's death as much as I would have liked. You get to see a lot of Daredevil action and him fighting people. And when he puts the suit back on, it's funny because Muse shows up and kidnaps this girl who, not the greatest actor. She's the daughter of White Tiger, and she's upset about what happened to him because he gets executed after he's proven innocent because Fisk pulls Fisk things and still wants him dealt with. So Muse kidnaps this girl, and she had been trying to talk Matt Murdock into doing something about it more, which made him realize, like, hey, I need to be Daredevil. But when he's about to do it, he hears she's kidnapped or something, and then he's like, fuck it. And he goes and gets a suit and just starts beating the fuck out of Muse, and it was cool. And can I just say the psychiatrist girlfriend he has is annoying as fuck? Because Muse kidnaps her and tries to kill her. Daredevil rushes in kind of last minute and saves her and is beating the fuck out of Muse again. Then she guns him down. Muse, that is. And then claims that she saved herself. But she didn't. She took cheap shots when Daredevil was already handling the situation. Muse was very clearly losing the fight. If it had gone on any longer, it was gonna end in Daredevil's favor. Like, Muse was a big Taekwondo champion and all, but Daredevil was trained by Stick. He's a ninja man who also knows Muay Thai, I guess, because he had ropes in the third one season. But yeah, she hates vigilantes. Maybe they'll elaborate more on that, but she just hates them. And then she believes Wilson Fisk is fine. She becomes like his chief of psychology or something, communications lady. She refuses to believe the guy with a questionable legal history who conveniently keeps getting out of, like, legal trouble based on, like, technicalities and things. She fucking believes in him, and she's fine with it. And then another issue I have is Vanessa is revealed to be the one that hired Bullseye to kill Foggy because he was about to win a case that was going to expose her or do something. I forget. He's going to get something dismissed. It was going to expose her one way or the other. And Bullseye lets Vanessa hire him? Like, in season 3, Fisk kills the girl that he was not necessarily romantically interested in, but he saw her as his North Star to help his morals that were shit. Fisk has her killed when he senses that Bullseye might be getting back on the right path. And then Bullseye logically is like, fine, I'll take Vanessa from you, fucker. And then he lets her hire him. He's about to actually have more of a normal life and is taking meds and stuff, and she gets him released, stops him from taking meds, and is like, you're good at this. I need you to do it. And he's just like, I guess you never escaped the past. And then he does it. But then he tries to kill her, and Daredevil takes the bullet for her. Or he tries to kill Fisk. Yeah, that's right. He was gonna shoot Fisk. He aims at her and then aims over at Fisk. But why did he even take the fucking assignment to begin with? I don't understand that. I don't particularly like it. Why was White Tiger so dumb that he just walked out in the open and let somebody shoot him? Like, he's just casually walking down the street as a vigilante and gets fucking shot. And then it's never fully clarified if he actually wanted to kill the officer he killed on accident, because he seemed like he did. Well, after it happened, he didn't seem remorseful and almost seemed like there was a thrill to it. That's never really addressed. They do address that Fisk got out of prison in the third season because the whole FBI was corrupt, so they threw out any testimonies from the FBI. So they're like, oh yeah, you're right, the FBI was corrupt, so how can we believe any of it? Because his lawyers did their lawyering, I guess, and worked that angle. It's just kind of mentioned in a sentence. But yeah, that's how he gets free and gets to become mayor. Because he gets shot in the fucking head in Echo. I was just wondering what he'd been doing the whole time, but still criminaling, still empiring, and getting shot, having to recover for like a year. Daniel was a new character they added who's pretty cool. He's kind of like a deputy. He becomes a deputy mayor of communications, and he's more and more corrupted by Fisk because he's just enamored with him. At first, he thinks he's actually like someone trying to save the city, and then he becomes involved in his criminal shit and just willingly lets himself get sucked in. And there's a right-hand man he has, that seems to not like the reverse is happening. When he saw the commissioner get his head fucking schmeated, he kind of seemed not to like that. I think he realized, like, I'm aligned with a monster. I fucked up. And then at the end of the show, Punisher and Daredevil are working together because Fisk tries to get Daredevil killed. Like, he tries to make him look like he died from his wound after Daredevil took a bullet for him, which nobody's gonna find that weird that he suddenly died. Well, no, the psychologist lady didn't give a fuck about anything Fisk is done. So anyway, Daredevil and Punisher are fighting their way out of Daredevil's apartment, and then they go their separate ways. And it turns out Karen had called Punisher in to help Daredevil because she knew Daredevil was about to get probably beatered by Kingpin because she'd heard about the whole gunshot incident. So she figured somebody's probably going to try to finish the job. And so Kingpin did. But they go their separate ways, and then for some reason Punisher, like they meet up at his weird lair he has, and they talk, and I guess something in him gets sparked to make him care about things again because he seemed indifferent, and he decides to go after this port I had talked about on his own against their army. They capture him, and he's in a cage along with Swordsman and a bunch of other people Kingpin had just been capturing using his fucking new army. Like, how many people are you going to keep in your basement and still keep this under wraps? I don't know how quiet this takeover is going to be. He's got martial law going. Like, there's so many things where it's like, did we really just elect Kingpin in to be mayor? But the whole point, I think, was to be a commentary on what's happening now with the presidency. So in the past, I might have had my doubts. But now. And then Daredevil and Karen were going to try to go in, and they're like, this is a bad idea. We're going to get fucking baitered. Let's not fight Kingpin and his army. And Daredevil was still slightly bulleted and hurt. So they decide to get this army of their own, and that's kind of the end of the season. It felt like a wet fart at first. Because, I mean, the fight with Punisher and Daredevil together happens, the head crushing happens, and then the attempt on the base and the unattempt happen, and then there's like a weird speech, and Daredevil's meeting with like 5 old people. And I really hope that's not his army. It's like the cop that saw him unmask after he tried to kill Bullseye in the first episode, Josie, because then they're meeting at her bar, and then some other old cops, and it's like, and Karen. Like, this is your army? I mean, Karen's busted a cap in someone a few times and then got her brother killed. I guess she can handle herself. But who's the rest? Who else you got? Can't be Spider-Man because he's not allowed to be in the show until Sony says so. Just like Kingpin can't be in the movies for similar reason. It's believed the Defenders might be part of the army, I'm hoping. I mean, in a post-credits scene. Because it's got to have that. Punisher breaks out with a very obvious trick, just kind of convincing somebody to come in, shake his hand, and he breaks their arm, gets the key, and it's assumed he's going to get out, probably. They should have just killed him, but they wanted non-lethal rounds pumped into his head, and then they capture him and beat him up a little bit and put him in a cage. But yeah, I'm sure the Swordsman will join too and probably die, I bet. He seems like a character that would die. Punisher might even, I hope not, but I have a feeling. But I'm really hoping the Defenders show up, especially because they'd interact with Punisher finally. That would be cool. And then we could have a cool army. Maybe some other Marvel people could show up. Fuck it, you've already tried to ingrain the show into the Loaf universe more. Just after Kevin Feige tried to get the Netflix shows like scrubbed, he realized people liked the Daredevil one, and now it's incorporated and assimilated like a fucking fungal meat man infection. Well, I liked it overall. Just yeah, it was just, it's a little too light and airy at times, too monster of the week. A lot of the casting isn't quite as good as, well, some of it, not a lot. There's just a couple people that are like, all right, you're kind of just generic bad man or generic sad girl. Or I liked White Tiger, he was cool. Hopefully the next season balances things out more and has some of the original people back, but we'll see. We'll see who the armies is. Maybe we'll get less monster of the week thing. Didn't I already say that? Maybe we'll get more Kamala Khan dad man, except I think he's supposed to be in prison, but he's not. Maybe Moorheads will get beatered. Maybe Spider-Man will show up. Maybe some Sony dickheads will show up. Craven! Get Craven! Alright, shut the fuck up.